done with Family Life recently, so I talked about penises and vaginas all day, so what's a breast, you know? All right, so, there we go. Speaking of, this happened like 2-3 years ago in February. I was sitting in the gymnasium, and we have what we call pride rallies, which are similar to pep rallies. And I was sitting there, and that's where they recognize students and teachers for all these awards. Well, they had gotten to the award of Teacher of the Year. And I'm not gonna lie, I was half listening because it was a pep rally. I'm sitting there with my 6th graders, and I'm more being like, sit down, sit down. So I'm really not paying attention, and everyone starts clapping and screaming. And one student looked at me, and they're like, Miss Oz, it's you. I'm like, it's me? They're like, it's you. So I go up there, and I'm kind of all shocked and shaken, and there's 900 some people in the gym. I just take my award and go sit back down. And the first thing when I sat down was, how the hell could it be me? There are 10,000 more better teachers in this building than myself. I don't deserve this award. I don't know how I got this. But you see, that's how I always have felt about myself growing up. I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I didn't deserve anything. I didn't deserve to be recognized. Because I did live a tough life. See, I grew up with 4 brothers. And I love all 4 of them very much. But one thing that if you have 4 brothers, I learned real fast was how to be competitive. I even have a twin, and we were 3 months early. And I guarantee you, he kicked me out. That's how competitive it got in that womb. Because they said, my mom said they literally had to drag him out. So I guarantee you, he was like, bitch, get out. I want this space to myself. It gets so competitive, even at dinner, I would try to go for second helpings, and a fork would go in my hand and say no. And you know, ironically, what they never knew, they never caught on, was I would hide those cans of Chef Boyardee raviolis. I would put them in my closet, because if I didn't, I would never get any. And then I would tell people, they would say, oh, you got a boyfriend? They'd be like, shit, what's dating? I got 4 brothers. You think I have a date? I said, if I do ever get a date or a boyfriend, A, it's a miracle. B, I guarantee it was on Channel 12 News, because it was like, holy hell, she has a boyfriend finally. But there's 2 things that they did give me. They gave me how to be a fighter, and they gave me strength. But being the only girl did have its downfalls. See, I had no one to talk to when it came to girl problems. Yes, I had friends I could rely on, and I had my mother, but at the time, my mother and I really did not have a good relationship. We did not get along. So a lot of times, I would come home from high school and just go in my room and just cry. And just feel all that sadness. And then later on, I noticed as the years went on, my moods would change. All of a sudden in college, I would be up at 2, 3 in the morning, vacuuming, doing whatever. I'd be up for 24 hours straight, not just doing whatever, working on papers, whatever I needed to do. And then all of a sudden, maybe a few days later, I'd be in the bed, sleeping 12 hours, not eating, not sleeping, not taking a shower, just crying nonstop. I even remember one time I went to the mall and I spent $1,000 within an hour. And I couldn't even tell you what I bought, except for one thing I remember. I bought a different color toothbrush for every day of the week. And I came home, and the first thing my mother said to me was, number 1, what the hell are you on? Number 2, give me your credit card. And I just looked at it and I said, you're jealous. You don't have a different color toothbrush every day of the week, but you could if you bought some. And to me, I would describe it as a roller coaster, because I was going in that, I'm not a big fan of roller coasters at all, but you would get that up, 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 and then you'd be waiting for it, and then it would hit. And you would twist, burn, spin, whatever, go upside down, and that's how my emotions felt. And I'm gonna fast forward, a few years later, I just couldn't take it anymore, because I was wearing all these different masks throughout my life. I had to be this way for this person, then this way for another person. So I remember I came home one night, and it was during my college years, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I went to the cabinet in the kitchen where my mother kept her prescription pills. And I remember I took the bottle out, and I put the pills in my hands. And I had a glass of water in my other hands. And I looked out there, perfectly out the window, just tears coming down my face. And I was like, should I? And without hesitation, I swallowed them. I remember drinking the water, and then I remember going to my bed. And I remember all I did that night was take off whatever was on my feet and just laying in the bed, looking at the ceiling, praying to God, please take me. I'm done. and I remember just crying. The room started spinning. I started seeing double, and I thought, yes, I'm dying. This is exactly what I wanted, and then the room went black. And then I woke up the next morning with one hell of a hangover. And the first thing I thought of was, damn, I'm so stupid I couldn't even kill myself right. And this, I describe my emotion as being in a jungle. Every day was a different emotion. Every day I was putting on a different mask. And sometimes the mask would be different throughout the whole day. And no matter what I did to try to cut down those weeds, they still kept coming back up. And some of them would keep coming taller. And then again, I remember, well, if I couldn't kill myself, then the one night I came home and I sat down on the kitchen floor and I opened the kitchen drawer and I took out a knife. And I remember just looking at my wrist and I just sliced it. And I remember the blood just coming out all down my forearm, dripping on the floor. Again, tears just running down my face, and I had the knife in my other hand. And I'll tell you right now, it felt so good. I felt like, holy crap, this is one of the best feelings I've ever had, because all this pain that I've been dealing with has been coming out. So what did I do? I sliced 2 more times just to keep getting that pain out. And that's what I kept doing on a regular basis, is I would just cut every day. I actually, what people didn't know was I had a pocket knife hidden in my underwear drawer as well. And I would use it at nighttime. You see, physically, if you look at me, if you look closely, I've got 10 scars on this arm and 12 or 15 on this leg. Because that's what I would just keep doing, is cutting. Because ironically, the pain never went away. The problems were still there. So I finally said, I gotta do something. So I opened up to my family. And that's when I went and got help. And I've been hospitalized twice. And the first time I was hospitalized, first I'd like to say the hospitals you see on the movies are nothing what the hospitals really are. They make those look like they're 5-star restaurants. The one I went to had bars on the windows, no mirrors. I was like, how was I gonna do my hair? And the lady's like, we don't have mirrors. So nothing like it's supposed to be. But that's when I was diagnosed. The doctor said, we're going to diagnose you with bipolar II rapid cycling disorder. My first reaction was like, yes, I finally got an answer. But then part of me was like, wait a minute, where's that fighter that has been with me all my years as a little girl fighting? And then when the doctor told me that, it was actually a sign of relief. I was like, I finally have an answer for what's going on with me. But then I also thought, holy crap, people are going to think I'm crazy. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But you know what? Again, what happened after I found that out was, after the second time being hospitalized, I was like, you know what? I don't have to fight anymore. I have this answer. Why am I fighting it? Instead, I worked on recovery, just like these ladies did. And the first thing, not the first thing, but one of the things I did for recovery, who doesn't go do it? I got myself a tattoo. So this tattoo means so much because it says strength, and I'm a very religious person, and so the T is a cross. But not only does it give me the strength to keep moving, but it also covers up the scars that you physically see. So they're starting to heal. You see, I was tired of it being Halloween every day for me, putting on that different mask. And what I realized was I don't have to do that anymore. I can just be me now. I don't have to keep wearing that mask. And then, ironically, one of my other recovery skills I use is I give my emotions names. I have a name for every person. If I call my parents, Anxious Annie might be called. Okay, Kissy Kathy may be around if there's a good-looking guy. You never know. Huggy Helen. But there's one out of everybody that doesn't mess with. And my 4 brothers, one's a police officer right here in the city, one was a Marine, 1'6", 200 some pounds, but there's one that nobody messes with, and that is Brianna the bitch is here. I've never seen 4 males run out of the room so fast, and they will say, is she here? And I'll say, yeah, and they'll say, tell us when she's gone. You know, and growing up too, just recently, it's only been like a month, I lost my daddy. And he was like, just my protector. And he was one that would always tell me out of the whole family, you are the strongest person. And days I would call crying, because you know, I'm gonna have good days, I'm gonna have bad. And he will say, where's that strength? Where's that Tammy, that's that fighter that I know? And recently, and Aaron brought it up, I was gonna talk about it, was I got this congratulations in my email. And I thought, the first thing I thought was, congratulations, I didn't do any sweepstake. I don't know what the hell they congratulated me about. But then I read it, and that's when it said I was named a health and PE teacher for the county. For the first time ever, I actually smiled. And I said, God damn it, I deserve it. I have been nothing but working my ass off for this county in this health and PE department. I finally deserve some recognition. And that, folks, I'll tell you, was the first time I recognized that the scars that are inside have finally healed up. The scars that are on the outside, they will be there, but they're sealed. And for the first time ever, I can now say I only wear one mask, and that is the mask of Tammy. And that's the only mask I'm going to keep on for the rest of my life. Thank you.